Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Smackdown, and what a way to kick us off here on Smackdown than having your Smackdown general manager kick us off here live tonight here in Des Moines, Iowa. We had JBL send us a message saying that he had a major announcement that would change the foundation for Smackdown, and we will be addressing that whole situation here live on Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. But what a night of professional wrestling we have in store for you, as I'm about to read off what JBL sent us. He said, and I quote, "I am done playing around with the two other brands. Smackdown has been the A show for years now, and it still feels like we are getting disrespected. My announcement is going to shake the foundations of Smackdown and blow Raw and NXT out of the water." End quote. So, certainly massive news, massive announcements coming our way momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. What does JBL have in store? What exactly is going to change the foundations of SmackDown and blow Raw and NXT out of the water? We are about to find out, it presumably seems. And I mean, I definitely understand what JBL is coming from. There's a lot of stuff that has been changing, hasn't been favored for SmackDown at all. Welcome everyone to Smackdown, a sold-out edition here in Des Moines, Iowa. And normally, I don't come out here too much unless it's something important. And I'm now sick of what Raw and even NXT is doing. They think that they're better than us, can do whatever they want, and I'm done sitting around letting them walk all over us, because right now we are changing up the future of SmackDown right in front of us. As we all know, recently Monday Night Raw has had one of the biggest signings in their history of signings, with CM Punk and Wade Barrett joining them from presumably NXT to Monday Night Raw. And NXT has been signing all these major free agents, and we basically, on the other hand, Raw has too many big-time talents, they move it over to here. SmackDown should be the number one destination compared to Raw or even NXT. Maybe it was because I didn't throw out too much money, but this time around, I'm throwing out a bunch of lucrative money, because this time around, I have signed two, and I do mean two, of the biggest free agents in WWE history. That is right, I have signed Jade Cargill and Nick Aldis to the SmackDown roster. It is official, and we're going to bring out one of the two right now. I would like to welcome Nick Aldis to the SmackDown roster. Is this true, ladies and gentlemen? Is Nick Aldis here? Yes, he is! The newest addition to the SmackDown roster. This man has held the NWA World Championship well over 1,000 days in his career. And now, one of the hottest free agents has now officially signed on SmackDown. JBL has signed lucrative deals to not only this man right here, but also to Jade Cargill. Two massive gets for SmackDown. JBL said he is not waiting around anymore. He's picking the right opportunity, and he's picking it right here, right now, for this man right here. Thank you for the warm welcome, JBL, and it is a pleasure of mine to be signed here to SmackDown. And if you guys are new and not really ever seen me before, my name is Nick Aldis. I'm a former two-time NWA World Champion, and now officially signed here to WWE. The reason I signed here to SmackDown wasn't just because of money. I'm not saying the money wasn't an important factor, but it is about stability for myself, my family, my wife, my kids, everything. But also what I can bring to the business, and I believe WWE was the smart decision for me. And signing with SmackDown was a no-brainer. There's nothing wrong with the Raw roster or even the NXT roster. but I believe the SmackDown roster, one of the toughest around, and I don't think I would get lost in the fold whatsoever. I think Raw is pretty stacked at the moment, and NXT is just finding itself. And I don't want to just take those moments away from those young and up-and-coming talent. But SmackDown, I believe, once again, they're only getting started. Once again, I would like to thank everybody involved, JBL, Hunter, everybody, and I want to say thanks to Raw and NXT for the warm welcome as well, being very nice to me, giving me all the things that I could possibly want in the world, but I believe SmackDown was the place to be. SmackDown has been number one for a couple years now, and we're going to make sure people won't forget that I am ready to go to work here. I appreciate you nitpicking SmackDown, and I guarantee you not only that money will make you happy, but being on Team SmackDown will make you even happier. Welcome to SmackDown, but we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. We're giving this Iowa a packed night to start us off because let's welcome the second newest addition to SmackDown, Jade Cargill. Ladies and gentlemen, there is Jade Cargill. One of the most big signings, one of the most biggest signings of all time here in WWE history. Jade Cargill is here, and we even have Stephanie McMahon. She is out here, and we're about to hear from Jade Cargill. This is absolutely massive addition to the SmackDown roster, and certainly one of the bigger situations for Jade Cargill, one of the toughest tests that Jade Cargill will have, but now she is out here, and we're going to hear from Jade herself. Now, this next woman I'm about to introduce to you is one of the biggest signings in regards to the women's division in a very, very long time. It is definitely up there with the likes of signing Ronda Rousey to this roster. And before I give this mic to Jade, I just want to say a couple things. First off, we are very excited to have Jade Cargill on, not just only SmackDown, but here in WWE. She has everything that we look for in a superstar. She has that it factor, and she's going to be showing it to everyone on this SmackDown roster sooner rather than later. And with that being said, I'm going to hand this microphone over to Jade Cargill, and she will introduce herself to all of you. Steph, you sure know how to make a girl feel special. I appreciate all the kind words, and picking SmackDown was not easy. I had to sit down and interview multiple times with Sean and gonna see where he wanted the direction-wise of Monday Night Raw's women's division. I sat down with Bret the Hitman Hart of the NXT roster and really trying to kind of see where he wanted to take things for his brand, and as well as I sat down with JBL and did the exact same thing. JBL threw a lot of money at me, and I'm not saying I don't love that money, because baby I do, but everything else that JBL has planned for me, pitched for me, it worked exactly how I wanted it and how I want to be hearing it. I should be a top priority, and I'm not saying Sean or Bret didn't see me as a top priority, but I believe SmackDown gives me the best opportunity to go through the toughest and baddest women here in all of WWE. You see a roster full of Becky Lynch, Asuka, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baezler, Tegan Knox, Raquel Rodriguez, and so many up-and-coming women on this roster. That's what really struck me. So many of these women I would love to just get in a wrestling match, especially the women's world champion right now, the women's champion Asuka here on SmackDown, and then her women's tag team partner Becky Lynch as well. I'm going to say this once and once only. The winner of that championship matchup next week at Night of Champions between Asuka and Tegan Knox, that winner better keep eyes behind their head, because I'm coming for that women's championship, and I'm coming for that championship sooner rather than later. There's no time wasted when it comes to me, the new definition of the it factor here on SmackDown, Jade Cargill. Absolute craziness. One of the most shocking ways to open up a SmackDown episode, or just a wrestling episode in general here in Universe Mode History, ladies and gentlemen, as here comes the Smackdown Tag Team Champions. We'll be talking about them momentarily, but ladies and gentlemen, if you guys just missed the opening announcement, Nick Aldis and Jade Cargill officially signing here to SmackDown. Monumental news for the SmackDown roster. So many dream matches coming our way with Nick Aldis and Jade Cargill. But now we are going to shift our gears to the men's tag team division. Coming up next week at Night of Champions, it is going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against this team right here, the New Day. New Day recently coming back, or joining SmackDown after being on Monday Night Raw for the longest time. Just needed basically a move, a fresh start of sorts. We saw 6 total superstars join up here to SmackDown. Big news, and a lot of those superstars have really enjoyed that refresh, that new look, lease on life for their career. The New Day won a number 1 contenders triple threat tornado tag team matchup. And last week we saw Kofi Kingston take on Sami Zayn, and Kofi Kingston defeated Sami Zayn. So tonight we will see how Xavier Woods fares against the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens. And certainly, hopefully for Kevin's sake, he walks out victorious, or he might blow a gasket. You just never know, but certainly there's going to be mutual respect between both teams. The New Day has held multiple championships on Raw and SmackDown, and I cannot wait to really see how they fare against a tough test, and that being Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn next week at Night of Champions. Referee ringing the bell. Here we go. Big time matchup. And like I mentioned, it's already been a stacked show, but this matchup right here, certainly an awesome way to open up SmackDown, because we have massive matches all throughout the night, ladies and gentlemen. We keep on with the John Cena Open Challenge later on tonight, as well as Miz versus Carmelo Hayes. Also, a massive main event is in store. As, oh, wait a minute, Xavier Woods looking to get this match going as what a plancha over the top rope takes down Kevin Owens. And now Owens is in trouble. Oh, I guess momentarily he was in trouble, but Kevin Owens able to change up the momentum 0 to 100 real quick. But massive matchups are in store, especially the women's champion, Asuka. She will be taking on Ronda Rousey in a non-title matchup. Those two superstars will be involved in a women's tag team matchup next week live at Night of Champions, when the team of Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baezler take on Becky Lynch and Asuka for the women's tag team championships. Also, your big main event of the evening, your undisputed champion, Cody Rhodes. He will be teaming with LA Knight, the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship, to take on the team of the Judgement Day, that being Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio. And also, a big, massive matchup, a 6-man tag team matchup, is on display tonight, as you're going to see the Almighty Profits, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, teaming up together to take on the team of Keith Lee, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Business. As down goes Owens. Owens could be in trouble, but Woods deciding not to go for the pinfall, and he's looking to inflict some more damage here. And rightfully so. He's going to believe that Owens is not going to just go down like that. He's going to have to inflict much more damage, especially with Kevin Owens being a former NXT champion. Certainly one of the best in series history, and now a tag team champion with Sami Zayn as well. It's a big time clothesline from Xavier. He has just been one step ahead of this whole matchup. It's a big time drop kick, absolute beauty of a drop kick there. Now Woods gonna go high risk, top rope situation, big time elbow right to the chest there of Kevin Owens. Is that it? No, Owens kicks out at the very last second. Owens needs to figure out something, ladies and gentlemen. Owens is it has been taken to the woodshed in this matchup. Besides, oh my goodness, what a harsh landing there from Xavier Woods. This is the moment Owens needs right now. And if we go back and really see how this matchup ends, we'll see if this is the moment Kevin Owens will be able to say, hey, that I was able to finish this matchup, or hey, I gave Woods too much time to get back in this matchup. Oh, Owens busted wide open right now. The tag team champions are in trouble in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, as Woods from the second rope, he misses the frog splash. And Owens all fired up. He's telling Woods to get up to his feet, but again, taking too much time. And he eats a big kick to the skull, as now Xavier Woods looking to put the final piece of this match away. Woods, jumping clothesline, takes down Kevin. But Woods, he's not done yet. Feels like he has to do even more damage, and he connects with that big elbow from the top rope. Certainly, this has to be it, and it is. What a onslaught of a matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Xavier Woods would not allow Kevin Owens to get anything going this whole entire matchup. And just like that, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, their title reign may be in jeopardy, because next Sunday, the Tag Team Championships will be on the line in an actual tag team matchup. Will the New Day become Tag Team Champions once again here in the series? I was definitely not expecting Kevin Owens to be dominated for the most of that matchup, but that's how focused the New Day are. With this fresh start and everything, they believe this is their time to rejuvenate their tag team career. And certainly, from the looks of it, they have been hitting every checkpoint on their checklist. But now we have The Miz making his way down to the ring. He's defeated Trick Williams back-to-back weeks, once by a countout, and then last week beating him by any means necessary. But now Carmelo Hayes is looking to put Miz in his place. It was the week where we saw the transition of 6 superstars from Raw to SmackDown. Miz, Carmelo Hayes, and Trick Williams were a part of that, among JD McDonough and the New Day. And we saw Carmelo Hayes in action actually that same night. And, well, if you guys saw any of that, Miz would come out and attack Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams after Carmelo Hayes' matchup. Miz is saying that he is sick and tired of, not making the situation about him. He's been trying to elevate the likes of Logan Paul and hasn't been making it about himself. Every time he's been in a tag team, he's been worrying about his partner. And now he said he's going to focus on himself and he's going to start bringing championships. He has eyes on that Undisputed Championship, but right now with Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley kind of spewing mounts of blood against each other, brutal blood against both men, and Cody Rhodes being in that as well, certainly it's not the best time for Miz to do that. But here comes Carmelo Hayes, ladies and gentlemen. Fans are starting to warm up to Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams on this, believing that these two gentlemen are maybe definitely the future here on SmackDown for sure. Carmelo Hayes, former NXT champion, there on NXT briefly, like we've mentioned before, but certainly he doesn't want the past to define him. He wants to make a whole new start here on SmackDown, and defeating the likes of a former Intercontinental champion, former European champion in The Miz would be a great opportunity for this young man. With Trick Williams at his side, certainly Williams is going to help out Carmelo Hayes as much as he can, and vice versa. But here we go, Miz versus Carmelo Hayes. Can Carmelo knock off Miz? Referee rings the bell. Here we go. My question is, will Miz take the easy way out of this matchup? Will he do another count out like he did to Trick Williams in the first matchup. Yes. Miz now. Oh, big time drop kick through the second rope. Miz is not playing around now. So Miz swinging neck breaker on the outside. Miz going to try to figure out what else he wants to really do to a man like Carmelo Hayes, but Miz going to take his time. Realizes he doesn't need to rush into this. Especially when you face a man like Carmelo Hayes, you certainly know what to expect to a certain extent. But when you face a man like Miz, he's a whole different animal. Play mind games, he can systematically take you out, be more technical, work on the legs, slow you down, beat you by submission. Or if he has to be aggressive and, not only just the mind games, but to where he can dissect you mentally, physically, Miz can do all sorts of things. As Melo feeling very confident at this moment. Oh, perfect dodge there from Carmelo. You love to see it. It's a big time super kick, takes down the Miz. And now, oh my goodness, the A-lister taking too many of those. More of his movies that go straight to DVD might not even make it to DVD if he takes too many headshots like that. Oh, big reversal from Miz early on. Still to come, we have massive matches, including Asuka and Ronda Rousey, a non-title matchup later on. Plenty of big-time action, and actually coming up next, from what I understand, John Cena's Open Challenge will be coming up here just in moments' time. Who will accept his challenge? Big reversal from Carmelo. Oh, misses the kick. This is Miz's time here. What's he thinking about here? Oh my goodness. Right on that top rope. I know, come on, Miz. Basically telling everyone in Carmelo Hayes that how big his balls are. It's just, that's the mind games of Miz, ladies and gentlemen. But you gotta be someone, you gotta look past that. You cannot just let Miz continuously be the Miz. Essentially, you gotta throw him off his game. And a lot of superstars, they go along with the mind games to an extent. They don't try to do something else. As look at Miz, a big cut on the right side of his forehead there. That is not going to be feeling too good, and certainly Miz is not going to be too happy about it. As are we going to see a count out? Is Carmelo Hayes going to beat Miz via count out? Could you imagine? But Carmelo Hayes not able to keep Miz down long, and Miz was able to get back inside the ring. As now Carmelo Hayes, high risk here. Hayes going for the leg drop, but Melo missed. Melo usually doesn't miss, but right now he's gonna have to try to go back to the well one more time. But certainly Miz is picking up this matchup, trying to get back in his favor. And there we go, Trick Williams. Trick Williams trying to help out Carmelo as much as he can, like we mentioned. Is this the moment? Flatlining, taking down Miz. And this is the opportunity where Carmelo has to get back in this matchup. He's got the help of his good brother Trick Williams here. And this is the opportune time to put away a man like The Miz. You're not going to get much opportunities later on. Look at Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes stealing The Miz's finishing maneuver. And luckily for The Miz, he wasn't down and out. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, what The Miz would have to deal with if he loses to his own finishing maneuver. As certainly that swinging neckbreaker of sorts, that has to be it, and it is. Carmelo Hayes picks up a massive win over the A-lister here tonight on this monumental episode of Smackdown. Perfect swinging neckbreaker of sorts. Carmelo Hayes did not miss that time. Not only he sends a message to Miz by sealing his finishing maneuver, but puts the ceiling on top of that matchup. Big win for Hayes. Judgment Day it's time for you to be taken down a peg, and that's exactly what's going to happen at Night of Champions. Not only, Finn, you're going to lose your Intercontinental Championship, but also, Judgment Day, you guys are going to lose to myself and Bad Bunny in tag team action. Mysterio and Priest, I'll be keeping an eye on your tag team matchup in the main event tonight. It is time for the open challenge from John Cena, ladies and gentlemen. What is going to happen tonight in this matchup? Cena has continued to look good. His priority is to win a world championship. Does not matter. Well, I guess it doesn't matter to an extent, but he would like to do it sooner rather than later. But he says he's going to have to start from the bottom to the top, really get him back to being Big Match John. And certainly he's had some marquee matches, some wins over former world champions, and even some guys that are trying to step up to the plate. And now for John Cena, though, a lot of times he doesn't know who his opponent's going to be. And obviously tonight and at Night of Champions, tonight, next week on Smackdown, and at Night of Champions, he's not going to know his opponents. So the question is, for Cena, when exactly will he be championship ready? When will his moment be to hold the undisputed championship? Himself and Cody Rhodes have had a one-off matchup before on SmackDown, and Cody Rhodes defeated John Cena. Will we get to see that matchup one more time? You just don't know, but oh my. Here is the next competitor for John Cena, the monster among monsters, Braun Strowman. He is a former Universal Champion, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a matchup John Cena is going to have to really see, to really test himself. Because John Cena, he's had some big guy matches with the likes of Dominik Dijakovic as of recently here on SmackDown, but this guy's a whole different ball game. And if Cena wants to test the biggest and best superstars, he's going to have to go through a man like Braun Strowman, who has, like I mentioned, former Universal Champion and has had some big matches over his big time career. He's been basically in the first episode of the series all the way up to now, which is crazy. Referee ringing the bell. Here we go. Braun Strowman takes on Big Match John Cena. And if you would have told me Strowman would have a world title reign and John Cena wouldn't, it'd be very surprising if you think about it. And Strowman starting off hot and heavy, throwing Cena over the top rope with a belly-to-belly suplex. I don't even know how the hell Cena's moving right now, but that is John Cena's testament as Cena getting hit on that top turnbuckle. But tonight we have, not only we saw the newest additions to the SmackDown roster, Nick Aldis and Jade Cargill, we will be seeing some more massive matches later on tonight. That includes Asuka versus Ronda Rousey in a non-title matchup. See how those two will fare tonight. There's also a mixed gender matchup where Edge will team up with his wife Beth Phoenix to take on Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. And obviously the other two big-time tag team matches that will be on display. Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes teams up with LA Knight to take on the Judgment Day. And then also the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley team up to take on Keith Lee, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin. The Almighty Prophets versus the Hurt Business later on tonight. Is a massive night and only continues to get better on the road to Night of Champions. Cena again just getting pushed away, and Strowman making it look very, very easy by just running right at him, taking him down. Oh, Cena with a big-time reversal, but Strowman one step ahead and just continues to push away Braun Strowman there. Oh, Cena, no back body drop reversal. It is not easy to try and pick up a 7-foot human being, and especially 385 pounds, I believe Braun Strowman is. It's one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, it's not easy. But John Cena's a superhuman athlete, connected with the leg drop. Can he steal a victory? No, at least not yet. And Strowman gonna roll over at least to the apron, get himself out of arm's length, at least at the moment. Cena connects with the spear to the outside. Cena now gonna tune up the band a little bit, get his sneakers all freshened up here. Gonna look to put away Strowman. Oh no, Strowman might actually put away Cena here. Oh no, oh no, oh my goodness, powerbomb on the apron, then swinging him into the apron. Cena honestly could be down and out for, ladies and gentlemen. And referee screaming at Braun Strowman to get his behind in the ring here. Cena trying to go for a Hurricane Rana. Strowman catches him. That's probably the last ditch effort for John Cena. Cena is in trouble right now, especially the middle of that back, ladies and gentlemen. John Cena is in trouble, barely able to move. Oh, as soon as I say that, Cena's able to fight out of it momentarily. Now this is where Cena, this is do or die time in this matchup for John. I don't know how much more Strowman can take, and I don't know how much more John Cena can take. Little by little, Cena just needs to dissect Braun Strowman, and it doesn't have to be pretty, but slowly but surely, if you want to put away the monster among monsters, you got to keep the big man down. And that's what Cena's trying to do. I don't know what's... I see that he's keeping him down, but not really too sure what he's trying to do at this moment. Strowman, Cena face to face. Here comes Cena. This is vintage John Cena with those shoulder tackle takedowns. Strowman misses the wild strike, and look at the strength and power of John Cena. And oh, gonna look to steal one here. Hook at the leg. 2. No. Strowman kicks out at 2.5. Cena trying to get this Iowa crowd behind him, but he doesn't realize Strowman back up to his feet. And now Strowman gonna look to end this matchup once and for all. Down goes Cena. And look at Strowman. He's gonna do the right thing. Make sure that Cena cannot grab that bottom rope. And that should be all she wrote for John Cena. 2. No, Cena kicks out. Cena kicks out at 2.5. And Cena rolling out of the ring just to really figure out what he needs to do. Some cobwebs are certainly flowing through his head. Strowman is going to help him with that as he continues to be more and more brutal. The monster is all fired up. Cena needs to try to steal victory at any means possible in this matchup here. Strowman now catching Cena. Go for the underhook suplex. Just making it look so easy. Just tossing Cena around like a cruiserweight. Again. A second time. Feels like it's Suplex City all over again for John Cena. Strowman telling Cena to stay down. Cena has him up out of nowhere. Attitude adjustment. Is this it? Can he steal it? Yes, he does. Cena out of nowhere hitting an attitude adjustment. Strowman was telling Cena to stay down. Took too long. Cena steals it out of nowhere. Attitude adjustment. And Cena picks up a literal massive victory over the former Universal Champion, that being Braun Strowman. And Cena dig down deep tonight. Had to go through a lot of stuff, but Cena was able to pull out a victory. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and now we are back to singles action here for the women's division, as we will see these two women, Ronda and Shayna, challenge for the women's Tag Team Championships live at Night of Champions. The winner of that matchup will actually go on to the NXT TakeOver pay-per-view Halloween Havoc in just another 2 weeks' time, and they will have a unification matchup with Toxic Attraction there in NXT. Toxic Attraction recently coming to the exclusive pay-per-view of Backlash, making a surprise appearance, coming out and challenging the Women's Tag Team Champions Becky and Asuka to a unification matchup, but they wanted to have it in their home turf. Becky and Asuka agreed to that, but we'll see who will be going in to Night of Champions, walking out of Night of Champions with the Women's Tag Team Championships to even head to that pay-per-view with those Tag Team Championships, and we'll see who walks out with the unified Women's Tag Team Championships. But here comes Asuka, your Women's Champion and one half of your Women's Tag Team Champions. Now, this matchup is going to be very, very physical from the get-go. Ronda Rousey, former Raw Women's Champion, certainly would love for her to win another championship. Shayna, she's a former NXT Women's Champion, and they would love to become the Women's Tag Team Champions coming up next week live at Night of Champions. And honestly, I think that's going to be one of the most underrated matches of the Night of Champions card, ladies and gentlemen, because I think there's just so much damn potential there. I mean, there's so many big names in that women's tag team matchup, and it very well could be the show stealer of the whole night. And not only does Asuka have that women's tag team matchup with Becky Lynch, she also has the women's championship defense of Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox plans on cashing in her women's Money in the Bank briefcase for a championship match. As the referee rings the bell, it's gonna be a tough night for Asuka, but certainly if there's a woman can do it on all the rosters combined, Asuka is the woman to do it. Now Ronda with a snap suplex. Trying to get very physical here very, very early, and that's what you got to do against the very unpredictable Asuka. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been one heck of a night, especially when it comes to the women's division. Hold on a second, big pinfall, but just a 1 count with the addition of Jade Cargill to the Smackdown roster. JBL made lucrative deals to not only Jade Cargill, but to Nick Aldis. And they are officially here on SmackDown. A lot of those things like that you would expect to happen at like a big time pay-per-view or something like that. But JBL believes he's been disrespected from Raw and SmackDown, and he says he's not playing around anymore. He's gonna stop being laid back when it comes to signing superstars and anything else regarding his SmackDown roster. So we'll see how much more aggressive SmackDown will be getting, especially once we get closer and closer to Survivor Series weekend. Especially you got Monday Night Raw, they got a Halloween Havoc pay-per-view coming up in just 4 weeks' time, and then especially for SmackDown after Night of Champions, they will be building up to ECW One Night Stand. Sure as heck going to be a throwback of all ages. Definitely going to be an extreme pay-per-view of sorts. We'll see how the landscape of SmackDown is going to be faring by that time. And Asuka and Ronda Rousey playing a little bit of mind games, trying to really see where their opponent wants to go, inside or outside that ring, as Rousey going to work on that left leg. Ooh, my goodness. That could be a key factor towards the end of this matchup here if she continues to focus on that left leg. Oh, Asuka rolling through. Oh, this is vintage Asuka, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute perfection when it comes to that, and then running knee to the side of the skull. Let's see if Asuka can maybe put Ronda Rousey in her spot here. Here we go, Asuka. Asuka has Ronda in her sights here. Gonna look to make her tap out here. Middle of the ring. Nowhere to go. Ronda. Imagine if Ronda has to tap out here. Ooh, big elbow to the dome, and just like that, Ronda was able to get out of it. Let's see if she can build some offense as this matchup continues. That knee will definitely help you out. And then that UFC background coming to play right there. Those unprotected punches right to the face of Asuka. And look at this belly-to-belly suplex, making that look very, very easily. And look, of course, Shayna Baezler got to get involved here. Got to distract Asuka. Oh, but Asuka not phased too much. Asuka bringing the fight, but now Rousey. With the help of Shayna Baezler, here comes Ronda Rousey with that swinging power slam off of her shoulders. Rousey gonna go for the armbar. The armbar. But Asuka saved. I couldn't really see from the angle if she was fully touching the bottom rope, but referee believed she saw that as what a frog splash there from Rousey. Pinfall opportunity, but another questionable rope break. Referee, she has a better angle than I can. Doesn't look like she's really touching the ropes from where I'm seeing it, but does not mean that obviously I'm not wrong from my point of view. It's Asuka with a big headbutt right now. Both women putting it all on the line in this matchup. Certainly, Asuka would love to put down her challengers. That running hip attack right to the temple. Is that going to be enough? No, Rousey able to kick out at 2.5. Spinning heel kick again. Now Asuka going to get a little bit further, more damage right to the midsection there of Ronda Rousey. But Asuka not done yet. Going to inflict some more damage. She might be trying to lock in the Asuka lock here to Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey's in trouble. Middle of the ring once again. She has escaped it once, but that was pretty early in the matchup. This has gotten deeper and deeper in this matchup, and Rousey may have to tap out. Sign of things to come possibly next Sunday live at Night of Champions. But again, another elbow saves Rousey. Asuka eating a lot of damage late in this matchup. Both these women have put all on the line. Big maneuver after big time maneuver, but it has not been enough to put away their opponent just yet. And tonight it's been full of high-octane action, and we have plenty more of high-octane action, especially your main event, your undisputed champion Cody Rhodes teams up with LA Knight to take on the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio. And then also, even before that, we have a massive matchup coming up right after this one with Edge and Beth Phoenix teaming up to take on Finn Balor, the Intercontinental Champion, and Rhea Ripley. As Rousey able to slip out of it. And it seems like both women are pulling out submission maneuvers, but both women have eaten quite a bit of it. And oh my goodness, what a spinning kick to the temple. Rousey might be able to pull off a massive win here. Spinning power slam there to Asuka. Is that going to be enough? 2, 3. Ronda Rousey picks up a much needed win tonight here on Smackdown, and especially with that tag team championship matchup coming up next Sunday. Any win right now, any momentum will be desperately needed on the road to Night of Champions. Asuka, certainly there was times that she could have probably close to been putting away Rousey, but Rousey continued to fight, to continue to claw. And look at that, Rousey able to hit that spinning power slam, and it was all she wrote. Rousey and Baezler get the momentum this week, but what will the go-home show look like next week on SmackDown? Time's going to tell, but I cannot wait. This next match, ladies and gentlemen, I am really looking forward to. Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor taking on Edge and Beth Phoenix. Now, if you're looking for a barn burner, a match that may as well break down, gonna go all over the place, this is the match for you. Finn Balor, the current Intercontinental Champion, defends his championship against LA Knight, the megastar, next week at Night of Champions. Rhea Ripley was the former champion. She lost to Asuka in a rematch, but Rhea Ripley has called dibs apparently on the next opportunity for that women's championship. We'll see how that's going to fare with the SmackDown women's roster there. And then also you got on the other side, you got Edge, who's certainly looking to get payback, not only for his wife, but for himself, especially that beatdown that the Judgment Day gave them at SummerSlam. Not only did Finn, Dominic, and Damian destroy Edge after his matchup with Braun Strowman, we saw backstage Rhea Ripley take out Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix has been helping out Rhea Ripley, kind of grooming her to get her to becoming the next top woman here in the industry. Rhea Ripley was champion for a little bit, but would go on to lose it to Asuka. So we're really going to see where this is going to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get very, very crazy, and especially with the Judgment Day trying to possibly add another member to the Judgment Day. It seems like JD McDonough is trying to do everything in his power to join the Judgment Day. And Finn Balor said, hey, come back to the Night of Champions pay-per-view and we'll get this all set up. We'll talk more. So I'm going to see how that's going to fare for Mr. JD McDonough at Night of Champions. But we are here for SmackDown. We got this SmackDown and the go-home edition of SmackDown tomorrow, or I should say next week, pardon me. And then you got Night of Champions 2 days after the go-home show. A lot of big things are going to be going on at SmackDown, and we'll have to really figure out what is going to go on. But this matchup is a massive barn burner coming your way live here on SmackDown. The Judgment Day versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. We're just waiting for Beth Phoenix at this opportunity. This is a big time matchup. Beth has trained Rhea Ripley to an extent, and they even worked it in a tag team together briefly as well. So certainly both women are going to know each other quite well. Edge and Finn Balor are going to know each other quite well. Expect a lot of reversals, well-timed reversals, and it's something to be very well expected at this moment. But I can't wait until Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley lock horns, because also there at Night of Champions, Beth Phoenix versus Rhea Ripley, 1-on-1. I cannot wait to see it. The Glamazon against the future of the women's division, that being Rhea Ripley. But here we go. Finn Balor and Edge are going to kick us off here. Referee ringing the bell. Here we go. Finn Balor, Edge, kicking us off. We got Rhea Ripley, Beth Phoenix in their corners, a part of this mixed tag team match here tonight, live here in Des Moines, Iowa. And now Edge, almost a running punt kick right there to Finn Balor. That is not going to be feeling too good. For the case of Finn Balor, he certainly want to make sure he's going to be walking in to his championship matchup next week 100% as possible, because his matchup with LA Knight is certainly, it's going to be a hard-hitting matchup, but certainly LA Knight is going to look to get back a loss that certainly he believes he shouldn't have lost, because Damian Priest got involved in that matchup and would basically cost LA Knight that match, which sucks because it looked like LA Knight was on the verge of winning the Intercontinental Championship, but as the Judgment Day do, they play the numbers game. And a lot of these superstars should expect it at these times. As now Finn going to get the tag to Rhea Ripley. Now we get a little taste of what's coming next week here between Rhea Ripley and Beth Phoenix. Got herself a collar elbow tie. Going to toss Beth into the corner. Oh, what a very interesting reversal there, and look at Beth making fun of Rhea Ripley, saying, I got you there. But I was going to say Rhea Ripley is going to try to make her pay for it, but once again, Beth one step ahead of Rhea Ripley. Beth Phoenix is not a woman you want to play around with, ladies and gentlemen. A WWE Hall of Famer for a reason, and I bet even if she really wanted to, she could have one last reign, like maybe a championship reign in her career here in WWE if she really wanted to. As Rhea, nice standing kick to the temple, takes down Beth Phoenix. Beth is in trouble here. Can Rhea Ripley steal a victory here? 2, I think it was honestly closer than a 2 count. Referee took his time to make sure the shoulders were down, but at least you can't complain in the terms of referee made sure the shoulders were down for both. For Beth Phoenix there, that running forearm there. Edge busted open there. I can't really tell if that's right above his nose there. Don't have the best camera view at this exact moment. But certainly, at least from the side angle, it does certainly look like that. As both men running into each other. Edge now. Can maybe try to bust open Finn Balor there. Some good old snake eyes right on that top rope there. And now look at Edge. Looking to get as much payback as he can. Referee saying, come on now. We'll give you up to a 5 count. Yeah, it looks like it's right above the nose area there. Right in between the eyes. And Edge can do the right thing. Gonna get tagged. Here comes his wife, Beth Phoenix. Here we go. Beth and Rhea. And Beth running right through Rhea Ripley. Almost like running right through a wall. We know how powerful Rhea is. We know how powerful Beth Phoenix is. David versus Goliath in certain terms. You know, Beth Phoenix dominated her era. Rhea Ripley plans on doing it here on this era. But now Beth Phoenix with a torture rack here. Finn Balor, I don't know if he can necessarily break it up here. But Rhea Ripley, is she able to get out of it? Yes, she does with that arm toss takedown. Another collar elbow tie up. Rhea Ripley with a reversal. Back and forth we go. More of a stalemate right now. As again, Beth Phoenix running right through Rhea. But Beth isn't running through that. Rhea now. She's thinking about the riptide. Oh, wait. Oh, my goodness. What a maneuver. I think she just stole Beth Phoenix's finishing maneuver. But it is not enough. How cocky do you have to be for Rhea Ripley to be that disrespectful to a woman that was teaching you, that took time out of her day to make sure that Rhea Ripley was ready for the next generation to dominate SmackDown, and for Judgment Day to treat her and Edge like that after all that stuff that they did? Got this gut wrench here. Finn Balor, I don't think he's allowed to really break it up. Or if he is, he's just choosing not to. He believes Rhea Ripley can get out of it herself. Rebounding, big time shoulder block, takedown there of Beth. This is the moment Rhea Ripley needs right now. And imagine a massive win just a week before that massive Night of Champions matchup. That will certainly build some self-esteem for Rhea Ripley, and hopefully for her sake, she's definitely going to believe that's going to help her get back that women's championship. And oh, come on. There was no need for that. Awkwardly throwing Beth Phoenix over the top rope, and this Des Moines, Iowa crowd not too happy about that. Beth Phoenix barely moving. She is moving a little bit, but that was just a horrible maneuver there from Rhea. And now Rhea and Beth coming right after each other, and look at Beth spearing the heck out of Rhea there. And I think for Beth, that may have pissed her off. You do not want a pissed off Glamazon. Oh! Well, that boot will definitely slow down Beth Phoenix for sure. And now what is Rhea Ripley thinking again? Imagine if she tries to do it one more time. Imagine if she decided to just toss her on the top rope and push her off again. How disrespectful that is. But now she's just stomping a mud hole right into the midsection of Beth Phoenix. Oh, there's a big leg drop there to Beth. This matchup has been better than advertised. Both these teams have been absolutely destroying each other from the get-go. Judgment Day, I would say the Judgment Day would have definitely the momentum at the moment, but anything can change. Beth now going to look to get a tag. Yes, she does. The Rated R Superstar is in the ring now, but oh no, Finn Balor just one step ahead of Edge there. And a lot of people are believing Edge came back way too soon, coming back a week or two after that Judgment Day beatdown. And even before the beatdown, Edge was in a hellacious matchup with Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman took him to the woodshed and beat him down viciously there at SummerSlam. just a bad night in general for Edge. And I think a lot of people were saying, hey, he should probably at least take a couple more weeks and really recuperate. But certainly Edge, he believed that he was perfectly fine coming back early. He would lose to JD McDonough in a singles matchup. So, I mean, so far right now, he's looking pretty good. Big spear on Finn Balor, the Intercontinental Champion. Is this it? No, Finn Balor kicks out at 2.5. And now, here comes Beth Phoenix. Maybe Beth can put this matchup away here. Oh, big reversal from Beth Phoenix. Edge and Beth looking quite well here. Look at this. What a brainbuster suplex there from Beth. I think Finn Balor just busted open here at ringside. This matchup is breaking down. And now we're going to see a glam slam from Beth Phoenix. An STO from Balor. Is Beth going to steal a victory here live on Smackdown? Yes, they do. Beth Phoenix and Edge pick up a massive win here on Smackdown. Talk about physicality. We saw it here tonight. Both Finn Balor and Edge being busted open. We saw Rhea Ripley steal Beth Phoenix finisher early on in the matchup, but Beth hits the glam slam and defeats Rhea Ripley. What a matchup. A massive win for Edge and Beth. They seem like they are very, very happy. But will the Judgment Day be the ones walking out happy at Night of Champions? And I cannot wait to see what next week's Smackdown looks like. It is time for your double main event. Your first main event of the evening tonight is a massive, big-time 6-man tag team matchup. You got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits teaming up to take on Keith Lee, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin, known as the Hurt Business. So you get the Hurt Business against the Almighty Profits. This is a big-time matchup, and this will be the first time we're going to see Bobby Lashley and Keith Lee going at it, as Bobby Lashley, the leader of the Almighty Profits. And we're not really sure what Keith Lee is. We know MVP calling Keith Lee, calling an old friend, certainly. So does that mean, is Keith Lee the head honcho now of the Hurt Business to change everything around and take down Bobby Lashley, the traitor of the Hurt Business? Or is Keith Lee helping out MVP the most? And coming up there live at Night of Champions, ladies and gentlemen, the Street Profits will be taking on MVP and Omos in a tag team matchup. We've seen Street Profits already defeat the Hurt Business when it was Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, so we'll see how the Street Profits fare when it comes to that big-time tag team matchup next week at Night of Champions. But there is Keith Lee, Shelton, and Cedric, ladies and gentlemen. We always say Cedric, how impressive he is in the middle of that ring when it comes to that high-octane action. One of the longest-reigning cruiserweight champions we've ever had, himself and Rey Mysterio. Shelton and Cedric have been tag team champions before, and certainly Keith Lee would love to win a championship. With a couple years that he's been here in NXT and WWE, Keith Lee has not been able to capture any gold, but the opportunity is there for the big man to do it. As it looks like Montez Ford and Keith Lee are going to kick us off here. Referee rings the bell. Here we go. Montez Ford, Keith Lee, and Keith Lee already coming out here. And after he hit that maneuver, if you saw it, he had a brief look there at Bobby Lashley. Can only mean that this matchup is going to have a lot of tensions, certainly. There's already a tension to an extent, but there's definitely some tension that's definitely there between Bobby Lashley and Keith Lee. Keith Lee told MVP that we got a lot of talking to do. And, you know, it can't be a small deal if Keith Lee is coming from NXT to SmackDown via, basically Bret Hart saying, hey, if that's what you believe you want to do, you believe it's going to be better for you to go to SmackDown, we'll figure something out and we'll get you to SmackDown. And, well, Keith Lee's here on SmackDown for the last couple weeks, and so we'll really see where this where the Keith Lee and the rest of the Hurt Business really is going to be going in the near future, but certainly they have their sights on the Almighty Prophets, and you don't really know how long this is going to drag out for. As look at Shelton Benjamin, oh no, he misses the plancha. Montez Ford just 2 up there, and now Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, little tensions there for sure, but Lashley not doing too many bad things here. Oh, Benjamin now gonna put Angelo Dawkins in a, oh my goodness, what a DDT in a very bad spot. This matchup is breaking down, ladies and gentlemen, and like I expected, there's no love lost between both of these teams for sure. Can't wait to see Bobby Lashley and Keith Lee get in this matchup, hopefully at the same time. We've already seen briefly Keith Lee. We'll see if the Almighty will get into this matchup. Yes, he will. And the Almighty, he has a massive matchup at Night of Champions. He's in a triple threat matchup for the Undisputed Championship. It will be Bobby Lashley carrying Cross, and obviously the Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes. That is your main event of Night of Champions. It is going to get crazy, and it's going to get very, very physical. As look at Bobby Lashley, the strength, the power, especially to a man of Shelton's size. That is certainly not going to be too easy to do that to a grown-ass man. Bobby Lashley is just superhuman when you think about it. And look at just rubbing in this Des Moines crowd. Here we go, Cedric Alexander going to get an opportunity. Well, briefly looked like he was going to get himself an opportunity, but like that, Bobby Lashley, the almighty that he is just too much for Cedric Alexander. And here we go with the tag. Angelo Dawkins is going to look to inflict some more punishment here on Cedric Alexander. And Dawkins coming right after Keith Lee. Uh-oh. Dawkins, is he going after Keith Lee or Cedric Alexander? Oh, he takes... Oh, I was going to say, he looked like he was about to take out Alexander, but Alexander a little bit quicker in that exchange. Alexander trying to come after Bobby Lashley, which is totally understandable, but wrong place, wrong time. Lashley saw it coming, and oh my goodness. I don't even know what you really want to call that, but that powerful maneuver certainly almost gets the job done. Slam almost kind of looked like a power slam, almost suplex type of maneuver. Very awkward type of maneuver, but it certainly almost got the job done. It's a big knee strike across the chest. Cedric Alexander certainly would love to get back where he was a couple years ago when he was Cruiserweight Champion. Certainly does have one of the best records when it comes to singles action, ladies and gentlemen. So a superstar that certainly, you know, he's done his best here in the Hurt Business. Is definitely having to deal with a lot of changes over the years, with Bobby Lashley being the leader at first, and then you get kicked out by MVP and Omos, and then over a year later MVP needed Bobby Lashley, and then it came back, and then Lashley ends up turning on MVP and Omos, and ends up finding finds the Street Profits and wants to turn them into something else. As what a dominator there from Cedric Alexander, but Shelton Benjamin, his tag team partner, right there to save the day. And that only means Benjamin is gonna let Lashley even do more damage as you get a full Nelson involved here. And now Lashley and Keith Lee face to face for the first time in this matchup, and Keith Lee dissolved right away. And now just look at this headlock. And look at Cedric Alexander going to try to just slow down Bobby Lashley, just do anything in their power to really change up the momentum in this matchup. They certainly need to. Alexander and Lashley face to face there briefly. It's gonna get crazier and crazier as this match continues to go. Lashley now. Oh my goodness, dropping him right in that middle rope, and Lashley right in the face there. Both Keith Lee and Benjamin just blocking him off, flexing on everybody here in Iowa and flexing on the rest of the Hurt Business. Alexander was trying to get a tag, but Keith Lee and Benjamin just couldn't get Alexander over to the corner. As a flatliner takes down Bobby Lashley again, that might be able to steal victory. But ooh, Lashley, a strong kick out at one, barely even got to a 1 count there. As now look at Lashley with a big elbow, takes down Alexander. as we continue this matchup. This is a double main event, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next, it is going to be Cody Rhodes, your undisputed champion. He is in action as he teams up with LA Knight, the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, to take on the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio. Dominic and Damian are in a tag team matchup coming up live at Night of Champions, where we will be seeing Bad Bunny team up with Carlito. Should be one heck of a tag team matchup. If you guys missed any of that, make sure you guys go back and watch it as a DDT. And now, gonna springboard it into a big suplex. And now we get what we want. Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley. Oh, Keith Lee gonna save it. He's not gonna want to get involved with Lashley at this exact moment. I thought this was a perfect opportunity for Keith Lee to go at it with Lashley, but he's gonna save it. Maybe Keith Lee was gonna have Benjamin and Cedric Alexander get the much needed revenge that they would love to have right now. It's Benjamin with a big kick to the lower back there. Slowly, each team just dissecting each superstar in this matchup. Benjamin trying to get in the corner. Lashley looks like he's going to be able to fight out of it. Looks like Lashley or Benjamin, I should say, we've been trying to get a tag to Keith Lee there as both men run into each other. Both Shelton and Bobby have been in this business for a very, very long time, as there's a big time exploder suplex in the corner. Benjamin, this looks like it could be a massive win, but Lashley again a strong kick out at 1. I've always wondered how it would be if we saw Shelton Benjamin in singles action, just to really see how he'd be able to fare. Oh no, Lashley taking out the left knee of Alexander, but Benjamin is going to spike Montez for it on his head. This matchup is breaking down between both teams, and like we mentioned, that is expected. It's again running into a stalemate. Lashley trying to do his damnedest to get out of this situation. Military press. Gutbuster there to Benjamin, and now with the tag, here comes Angelo Dawkins. Now we got Dawkins and Benjamin here, face to face, man to man. Dawkins now underhook. Oh no, this ain't gonna end good. Underhook, swinging neck breaker. What a maneuver from Dawkins! Can't say I've seen that before. And now he hits him with that set out powerbomb. Big win incoming, possibly. Yes, it is. The Almighty Prophets knock off the Hurt Business tonight. What a match. Street Profits coming out here, sending a message to the Hurt Business. And now the Hurt Business have to go back to the drawing board. Look at this maneuver right here. I think this was a key moment in the matchup. Keith Lee could have continued the momentum, but he got a tag to Shelton Benjamin. I'm not saying that was a bad thing, but I think Keith Lee could have, inflicted some damage on Lashley, but decided to go with the tag. And just like that, Lashley, Montez, and Angelo Dawkins pick up a massive win. Will this be the sight next Sunday at Night of Champions, where Lashley walks out champion and the Street Profits knock off the Hurt Business? I wanted to address the WWE Universe and that elephant in the room, and that being Matt Riddle. Since he's no longer here in WWE, he's no longer my tag team partner. So that puts me back into my own domain, that being a singles competitor, where I'm the most dangerous athlete here on this whole entire roster. Now, don't get me wrong, we were still pretty dangerous as a tag team and dominating the tag team division, but me now officially being a singles competitor now, this whole roster is going to be put on notice, and I guarantee you this, I'm coming for that undisputed championship. And me and Cody go way back, so certainly Cody and I are going to have to talk. Wait a minute, that's JD McDonough. JD McDonough coming after Randy Orton. From what we understand, JD McDonough was going to be waiting until Night of Champions to show back up here, but it looks like he might be making some problems here on Smackdown, just beating the living crap out of Randy Orton backstage there and just breaking the kendo stick over Randy's head. This is absolutely senile for a man like JD McDonough to come out backstage here and attack the Viper, Randy Orton. He misses the enziguri there, and now Orton. It might be Orton's time. Uh-oh. Oh, JD McDonough, big reversal, and now big stomp to the midsection. It seems like JD McDonough has been prepared for this moment. Ballsy move and ballsy take of Randy Orton here tonight from JD McDonough. I hope JD McDonough knows what in the hell he is doing, because attacking the Viper, Randy Orton, is surely not one of the things you set out and do. But JD McDonough still must be on cloud 9 after knocking off Edge a couple weeks ago here live on Smackdown. But now, going from a member of, or I should say going from a superstar, JD McDonough, who's trying to join the Judgment Day, we go to two actual members of the Judgment Day in your main event, as Dominic Mysterio and Damian Priest. They are in action tonight against Cody Rhodes and LA Knight, but these two, like we mentioned, will be going on to Night of Champions to take on Carlito and Bad Bunny, where this will be Bad Bunny's first ever matchup live here in WWE. Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio made it very, very clear that ever since Carlito came back and Bad Bunny has been in his corner, that Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio would make it their personal mission to take out those two, and certainly to an extent it has worked out in their favor, but we'll see how it's going to favor at Night of Champions in that massive tag team matchup. Certainly, Bad Bunny, he's an artist, he's a singer. He's not normally ready for this type of situation, but everything's known to change, and this might be his moment to really break out here in WWE. As we now wait for your undisputed champion. There's more than one royal family, and that man is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. This is going to be a high-octane offense main event. Brutality, everything is coming your way live tonight in this massive main event. This man, Cody Rhodes, defends his undisputed championship at Night of Champions next week against Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley. Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley have been at their throats, and you add in the addition of the undisputed champion. It was supposed to be Cody Rhodes and Bobby Lashley, but Karrion Kross brought himself into this. It's certainly a match that everyone is looking forward to, and there's a lot of stuff going to be going on at this upcoming pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of it Judgment Day related. We just saw two new additions to the Smackdown roster, Jade Cargill and Nick Aldis. Two major signings, not to just WWE, but to Smackdown. And from what JBL is saying, this is going to be changing the foundations of WWE, and it's going to be blowing CM Punk and Wade Barrett signings from Raw and anything else that NXT has to offer, blowing them out of the water. We'll see how it fares. I cannot wait to see what the careers are going to look like for Jade Cargill and Nick Aldis. And now here comes the self-proclaimed megastar, L.A. Knight. Will this man at Night of Champions, will he be able to walk out the new Intercontinental Champion? Will this be L.A. Knight's moment, or will once again he fall once again to the hands of the Judgment Day? A lot of backings of this young man. They see so much potential in this young man. He has certainly changed his point of view. I remember when he was calling himself the self-proclaimed legend killer, going through the likes of Jeff Hardy, RVD, picking up massive wins after massive wins in singles action over the likes of John Cena, Roman Reigns, all sorts of competitors LA Knight has had to go through, and he has done it. He's defeated Damian Priest. He's defeated a lot of big-time superstars, but the question is, will it be his moment there at Night of Champions? It was supposed to be at SummerSlam, but Damian Priest screwed him over. Referee rings the bell. Damian Priest and Cody Rhodes kick us off here. Certainly these two know each other very, very well. When these two were on Monday Night Raw, we saw basically the formation of the Judgment Day. It was when Cody Rhodes was taking on Finn Balor in a singles matchup. Damian Priest would come out and intervene, leading to Finn Balor picking up the victory in that matchup, and that was essentially the formation of the Judgment Day. And ever since then, the Judgment Day has made sure to make the SmackDown and Raw rosters a living hell no matter what. Ooh, it's a big power slam there from Damian Priest, and Priest certainly would love to, once again have a championship around his waist. And look at that maneuver from the big man. Not every day you see a big man doing those type of maneuvers. From the second rope, big time plancha takes down the undisputed champion. But like I was mentioning, Judgment Day certainly would love to get more championships back around their waist. Damian Priest, a multi-time European champion. Dominic Mysterio has not won a championship just yet for the Judgment Day just yet, but I feel like that is definitely will change one day. Finn Balor, current Intercontinental Champion. Rhea Ripley calling dibs on becoming the next challenger for the Women's Championship after the matchup between Asuka and Tegan Nox. We'll have to wait and see how that's going to fare. Oh, Dominic Mysterio kicking the referee there. So basically, technically the submission will continue as a devastating lariat takes down the undisputed champion. And now Priest and LA Knight face to face. We know LA Knight has defeated Damian Priest, like I've mentioned before. And pretty much, Damian Priest getting pissed off about that, costing LA Knight his matchup there at SummerSlam. LA Knight was just so damn close to becoming champion. Like I've mentioned before, the numbers game, you gotta expect it in every key situation. You hate to be that way, but it happens to be that. You gotta have eyes behind your head. You gotta game plan for the unexpected with the Judgment Day. As here comes the tag, getting Cody Rhodes into the ring here. Cody Rhodes gonna taunt the Judgment Day. Mysterio, big time drop kick takes down Cody. Cody Rhodes could be in trouble here against this young Dominic Mysterio. Ever since turning his back on his father, Rey Mysterio, Dominic believes this is his opportune time to break out with the Judgment Day. He believes the Judgment Day are going to leave him to the promised land and take him to bigger heights than he could ever gotten with his dad. We had the opportunity to, everybody was believing that Rey and Dominic had been the first ever father-son duo as tag team champions, but we never got that far. Dominic was sick and tired of really seeing the direction of their partnership. I guess obviously it's more frustrations, and then for Dominic to say that Eddie is his real father and all this other stuff, it's just uncalled for nonsense. And Dominic has actually defeated his father one-on-one. Into the corner we go. Big time uppercut takes down Mysterio. And it is LA Knight's game, ladies and gentlemen, here in Iowa. Can he pick up a massive win for this massive tag team matchup here for you? As LA Knight, big time arm drag reversal, taking down the Punisher of the Judgment Day. As LA Knight, look at the strength and the power to take down this big man. Takes down Priest. Will this be enough? Referee in position. Oh, so close. Damian Priest keeps himself in the matchup, but for how much longer? And LA Knight's going to let Cody Rhodes finish off this matchup. Could be one Cody Cutter or Tiger Driver 91 away, but now Priest one step ahead of him. Imagine if Priest can pick up a massive win against the undisputed champion. Massive one-hand chokeslam, pinfall opportunity, but his tag team partner LA Knight saves the day momentarily. Uh-oh. I'll say it seemed like Damian Priest had his sights on LA Knight for a second. And now, just slowly gonna dissect the undisputed champion, make sure he won't be 100%. Walking into his big-time triple threat matchup as a big flatliner takes down Cody. Cody's in trouble, and oh, imagine it. We will not hear the end of this if Dominic Mysterio pins Cody Rhodes here, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh, second rope. I don't know. I honestly don't think Mysterio needs to even go high risk here. He connects with the Hurricane Rana, taking down Cody, sets him up perfectly for maybe a frog splash opportunity. Frog splash, but he misses. He took too much damn time, and now the American Nightmare. This might be his opportunity to put down Mysterio. Maybe beat some respect into Dominic. This is what we're talking about. Crossroads there to Dominic Mysterio. Is that gonna be it? 2. No, Dominic kicks out at 2.5. Keeps the matchup going a little bit longer. Both teams at a stalemate at this current position. Will it continue? Nice sit-out powerbomb there from the veteran Cody Rhodes. Been one heck of a night, like we keep addressing. Nick Aldis and Jade Cargill, the newest additions here to SmackDown. And also we've had massive matches tonight. We saw Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley against Edge and Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix picking up the win over Rhea Ripley in that matchup earlier on tonight. We saw the open challenges continue for John Cena. John Cena defeated Braun Strowman in one-on-one action there. It took Cena a lot, but it took a Cena with the attitude adjustment out of nowhere to defeat Braun Strowman. And he continues to build up what he needs to right now to maybe eventually challenge for that undisputed championship. A lot of superstars are coming for that championship. A lot of them are coming for Cody. And we just heard from Randy Orton addressing the elephant in the room. We haven't really heard from Randy Orton ever since Riddle got recently released here in WWE. Randy Orton saying, hey, it's time for me to now focus on myself. He had fun while it lasted, but it's time to focus on himself. He plans on coming after that undisputed championship. And he says that himself and Cody definitely know each other quite well, and him and Cody are definitely going to talk. But then that's when Janie McDonough would attack Randy Orton from behind. So it's it is going to get crazy around here, certainly even more. JBL is going to have to figure out something here on this roster as, LA Knight is in trouble. Oh no, Dominic tuning up. Here we go, 6-1-9 to LA Knight. Is this gonna be all she wrote? But now Dominic, he's setting it up. Didn't want to go for the springboard. He's gonna go for the frog splash to the megastar. Is this gonna be enough? Thankfully, Cody Rhodes breaks it up, keeps this match up going a little bit longer here. LA Knight needs to start producing some offense here right now if they plan on walking out victorious here tonight here on SmackDown. As a springboard crossbody turns LA Knight inside out, and Dominic realizing Cody Rhodes is now in the ring, but that doesn't take much. And oh, look at this. Look at this. This is definitely speeding up the matchup. Dominic Mysterio, imagine, like we mentioned, if Dominic picks up the win in this matchup, certainly he is going to be head over heels. We're not going to be hearing for it. We're going to be hearing it on his deathbed. For Dominic Mysterio, oh, remember that one day when I beat Cody Rhodes, the undisputed champion, in LA Knight? He'll be talking about it for days. But hopefully for Cody Rhodes and LA Knight, they will be able to take it to the Judgment Day tonight. Certainly we've got that go-home show next week on SmackDown. We don't know what's going on just yet, but that will be the go-home show, and we will be getting ready for Night of Champions 2 days later. It's bound to get even more hectic. This roster has been crazy as of late, and certainly it's going to even continue a little bit more. Big takedown there from LA Knight, and again another drop kick to LA Knight. That's the problem you get when you face this young brash athlete Dominic Mysterio. Definitely a little different to Rey Mysterio, but definitely a lot of comparisons to his dad, obviously, but definitely brings his own taste to offense. And especially when you're part of the Judgment Day, they're going to teach you some different nuances that they've learned over the years, especially with a veteran like Finn Balor who has won world championships before. And Damian Priest, like I mentioned, going to go with the Reckoning to LA Knight right in front of Cody Rhodes. That blood just spewing down the face of LA Knight. Very similar move to what Cody Rhodes does. And Priest, he's feeling very cocky right now. He knows he has LA Knight right where he wants him. And, of course, a stunner to Cody Rhodes to the outside. This is Priest's moment. The Judgment Day, this is their high-octane offense. They are going to be moments away from putting away LA Knight. And Cody Rhodes, big-time crucifix powerbomb. But now Damian Priest, not done. Certainly going to look for the Reckoning one more time. He already busted him open once, why not again? Certainly, if Rhodes hasn't got up to his feet, this has got to be it. 2, Rhodes saves the day at the very last second. LA Knight currently struggling right now. He cannot get anything going. He just took 2 Reckonings, a crucifix slam, and right now he might be seconds away from maybe eating a 619. Here we go, another 619 from Dominic. Holy cow, and now Dominic, once again, high risk. Will he hit another frog splash on LA Knight? Yes, he does. The 619 into the frog splash, but again, the undisputed champion saves the day. LA Knight desperately needs a tag. But Dominic Mysterio not going to allow Cody to do that. He's going to inflict damage on him. The team of LA Knight and Cody Rhodes, they are struggling at this moment. Judgment Day with all the momentum. And look at this! The big man trying to go high risk when he really didn't need to. But now, Priest going to look to inflict some more pain. LA Knight just has not been on his A game early on. Rhodes is down and out. LA Knight down and out. Man, I don't know what to say, man. These Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio putting on a slugfest tonight. And certainly they are sending a message to Bad Bunny and Carlito. We even heard from Carlito earlier on tonight. There's a big elbow to the middle of that back. Again, all that weight to the back. It is not looking good for LA Knight and Cody Rhodes here. And Dominic seemed like he was going to go after Cody there, but it seems like Dominic, he doesn't really know what he wants to do. He knows he needs to finish off this matchup. And now LA Knight, no, big Russian leg sweep again. And you know, if maybe Dominic and Damian Priest, they would work quite well as a tag team. If maybe they could ever go for the tag team championships, that'd work out quite well here on SmackDown. Maybe we'll see what the SmackDown tag team picture looks like after Night of Champions. Because Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, the current SmackDown tag team champions, they will be taking on the New Day, Kofi and Xavier. And now, oh, look at this big reversal there from Cody. Cody Rhodes needs to get something going, and this is what we're talking about. Crossroads there to Dominic Mysterio. Is this it? 2, 3, yes it is. Cody saves the day for himself and LA Knight. LA Knight certainly struggled tonight in this main event, but Cody saves the day. Couple crossroads. As you'll see this 5-star frog splash miss there from Cody Rhodes, but eventually the 619s would add up to LA Knight in this matchup. Look at this crucifix slam, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. And now another 619 from LA Knight. It was, like I mentioned, if without Cody Rhodes tonight, certainly LA Knight would have, quite possibly lost. But that's why it's called a tag team matchup. LA Knight, Cody Rhodes working together to get the job done tonight live here on SmackDown. Sorry to interrupt your celebration, Cody and LA Knight, but I have some bigger business to address right now, and it's about those lucrative deals that I told you guys all about. We signed Jade Cargill and we signed Nick Aldis. But we're not done signing anybody. We're just getting started here on SmackDown. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to introduce to you the newest member to SmackDown. Wait! You gotta be kidding me! There is no way! The Rattlesnake is here! And JBL just signed Stone Cold Steve Austin to a lucrative contract. So not only was it Jade Cargill and Nick Aldis, JBL throwing his money all at the biggest names here in WWE, and it looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of them. Holy crap! The Rattlesnake is here, but the question is, we haven't even seen him since WrestleMania where he lost to Kevin Owens. But the Rattlesnake is here. He's talking some mad crap. But the question is, what does that mean for Stone Cold here on SmackDown? Is he back to being a full-time competitor? What in the hell is going on here on SmackDown? Absolute craziness, and we're not even getting close to the pay-per-view yet. That's next week. I told you guys last year that I had another run in me, but neither did Raw or SmackDown give me the call that I was looking for. So I've been staying in the back home, down in Texas, drinking beers. What? Drinking another beer? What? Drinking another beer? What? I thought to myself, after multiple beers, do I actually have another run in me? Maybe it's a sign for me to actually officially retire. But then I thought about, hell no. Watching some of these young guns on the screen here, I certainly can out-wrestle them. So I gave JBL a good old call. We talked for hours and hours, and he threw me some money and threw out some demands and worked perfect for my schedule. This isn't just going to be a one match and done. Oh, I plan on wrestling quite a bit here on SmackDown and any pay-per-view that is left in my way. I signed a lucrative contract for a reason. I plan on staying here on SmackDown for a very long time. But now, since we've gotten that underway, myself and JBL talked about when would be the best match back for me be. And we talked and talked even more, and we talked about, hey, why the hell not Night of Champions? It's a perfect scenario, perfect time for me to come back. But the question is, who would be my opponent? And then JBL brought up the situation that John Cena's going through. He's setting up open challenges, and I thought that was perfect. But no open challenge for me. I'm laying out the challenge for John Cena. JBL had to think about it, but he has made it official. John, me and you live at Night of Champions. No open challenge for you to even think about. You know your opponent, and it's the Texas Rattlesnake. What? The man that's going to stun you into the ground. What? Stun you to the ground. What? But in all seriousness, John, I look forward to our encounter. And maybe even next week on SmackDown's Go Home show. Maybe, if you really want to, and if you're man enough, you say that you're here for your people. Well, next week I'll be live here on SmackDown. I hope you will be as well. I know you got your open challenges going on, so certainly I will see you next week live here on SmackDown. Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen, Stone Cold Steve Austin is officially signed to the SmackDown roster on a full-time contract. Holy cow. And his first matchup is going to be next week at Night of Champions live there in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is going to be one hell of a night. Stone Cold versus John Cena for the very first time ever here in series history. All hell is going to break loose between John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I cannot wait. What a way to end SmackDown tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with the addition of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Jade Cargill and Nick Aldis.